Hello, my beauties. Hello, 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 hello. We are going to jump into a great topic today, fear of change and how the universe lets you know it's time. Fear of change and signs from the universe is what I put on the thumbnail. All right, thumbnail is the thing you see. Welcome. We'll do a little bit of centering, because my channel is about meditation, spirituality, and manifestation for those of you who are new. So let me get back to StreamYard. You can see that little duck up in the corner there. What's great is I can put your comments on screen. So do start saying hi, put some comments in, say hello, welcome. This is my Sunday Live. I have not determined yet which would be very helpful if I did. If it's every Sunday that I'm going live going forward or not. So who is here today? I'm trying to get everything straightened out. I have my smoky quartz crystal, which I really love. I love smoky quartz. It's a little bit smoky. It's not as dark as they can get. Very grounding. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, if I told you if it was every Sunday, that would be helpful going forward. I have this song in my head, and this will definitely date me, but give me a yes if you know that song. And I'm a horrible singer. Back to life, back to reality. Remember that song? However do you want me? However do you need me? Of course, I'm probably messing up the lyrics. Okay, so let me see my comments. Hello. Hello, I'll put you up. BB. Hello, BB. Do you remember that song? Was that before your time? However do you want me? However do you need me? I remember club songs from back in the day than like radio songs. I remember, songs on the radio too. Yes. Okay. Love that. It's such a great dance song. And the songs would go, I guess they still do. The song would go on for like half hour, like 20 minutes, the one song. Probably still does. I don't know. Hi, Vintage Sims. I'll put you up on the screen. I love StreamYard. Let me see if I can point. Whoops. StreamYard is up there because I can put comments. So the theme, because, I make up my theme right before, but there are topics I care about, people, and that is what I'm going to be talking about. But I'm trying to find my thumbnail is so little now. It's basically how the universe lets you know that it's time to change and fear of change, because that's what I'm seeing in clients and what I have dealt with myself. I'm always including myself in this, okay? No judgment. I wish my camera were a little higher. I wish you could see more of me. Maybe I'll move you guys back a little bit. It is hot where I am because I like pink and white. How are you guys doing before I get, you remember? Yeah. Millicent says, yes, she remembers. Great dance song. However do you want me? However do you need me? You guys, I want to also call out some channels, shout out some channels, but I didn't prep that part. But there is a woman on YouTube. You must find her. You will fall down out of your chair laughing. And she does 80s and 90s. She's brilliant, brilliant. She just does 1-minute videos. Let me know if you know her name, put it in the chat. She, it's hard to tell what her ethnicity is, but her husband is Asian, but she dances really well. So she's in her 40s, and her whole thing is oh, they don't understand, back in the day. And so she does these 1-minute, her shorts are so good. She knows the lyrics. She's dancing. I can't even describe it. You'd have to see her. And she is so funny. She'll be driving and dancing and lip syncing to a song. And then she just finds what's funny or stupid about the song, or how young people don't understand that song was really from the 80s or 90s or even from the 60s. It's really, really good. Give me her name if you know who I'm talking about. She is just so much fun. All right. So welcome. I just wanted today to share. I might do also some readings because it's a nice thing to do with the community, right? It's something I can do on the spot. But what I wanted to talk about is fear of change. Okay. Fear of change may be holding us back. And vintage. It's funny you're here because I think we talked about this. Trying to remember. So, fear of change. I have that. So, since this is early in the video, if you're watching the replay, I want to give the replay folks. They don't love if I just spend a lot of time just talking back and forth with the live folks. They like if I get right into the topic. So, I want to make an announcement. Okay. I am working on manifesting, and I know I've talked about it, mentioned it on and off over the last couple of years. COVID blew up my plans, but it wasn't working prior to that. Maybe because I sensed that COVID was going to mess things up, but I am working on a big trip to Italy, and then ultimately to see if I can be there part of the time. So I am working on manifesting that. So as usual, I would love to ask you, what are you working on manifesting? Yeah, I have a wonderful, oh, no, it's not a good singing voice. I have a good speaking voice. But believe me, the singing, I'm just off key, though maybe with some training. I've mentioned this before, but an actor, like a character actor that was in a movie from back in the day, way back in the day, when I was a cashier, he said to me, I think you'd be a good singer. And I was like, no. And he goes, no. I mean, he's like, you'd be a stylist, but you can sing. And he only heard me speaking, but he was like some Hollywood dude, but character actor in a movie, and I'm blocking the name of the movie right now. And I was like, oh, you're so sweet. I'll give you a discount on your tomatoes. Okay. How about that? I won't even ring him up, but because I was so flattered. I was working at the A&P. You used to like that song a lot. I know it was such a happy song back. And I think it's resonating for me for a reason. Back to life, back to reality. You know what it is when I say I can't sing? I try to sing higher. Give me a yes if you do this. Hi, beautiful love. I try to sing higher than I can. And that's what it is. My voice is actually more of a I don't know the opera level, you guys, but I try to sing all high, or like Whitney Houston level. And obviously I don't have that. Okay. Or I'd be doing something else, but I have my voice is deeper. I don't know if that's mezzo, soprano, or contralto. Any singers out there? Any singers? Oh, you're so sweet. Yeah. That back to life, back to reality. I'm feeling really good. I just had my coaching group. Some of you were supposed to be in that, but it's running. I have enrollment. We are working on our projects. So I literally just came off of that Zoom call with them. And that's my Manifesting Mastery. That is going to run again in the fall. I am committed to doing it again in the fall. And I have women in that. I'm shuffling for card readings and for what I want to share with you. But one woman is starting her own app specifically, and it will be a big app in the beauty industry. One woman rediscovered in being part of the group, she wants to start a charter school. And then there are a couple other projects around organization, getting their home in order, which of course has a profound impact on our mental health. So 2 of the women are working on that. And a third woman wants to work on growing her YouTube channel because she is a healer. Yes. Okay, good. You heard that song too, right? That's from back in the day. It was such a happy song. It really was. It really, really was. I should put that on. So do any of you know the woman I'm talking about? Well, okay, I'm going to let that go. But if you watch this in the replay and you know who I'm talking about, put her channel because I would love to shout her out. She basically just continually refers back to music from the late 80s, 90s. And she's hilarious. She is just hilarious. And she's usually dancing, and she dances really well. And you just wouldn't think she would. She kind of dresses just like this housewife. She doesn't dress up, right? She's not doing anything fancy. And then sometimes her husband will help her make the videos, and he's adorable. And because it's just really funny. You have to see it if you know who I don't know her name. Wow, yeah. So thank you. So Vintage Sims says, yes, we've talked about fear of change. Uh, I thrive on structure and routine, so I panic a bit when I need to change things up. Okay, yeah, that's fine. The theme, though, that Spirit wanted me to talk about is because I'm going to show you. I was reading a book, so I'll recommend it to you guys. It's a little bit older now, but if you know DK, do any of you guys know DK? It's a British company. I think it's like Dorling Kinsley, but its books always have really great visuals, you guys. So they have yoga books, they have meditation books. I have some of them. But that publisher, DK, um, so this one, strangely enough, though, it has quotes. So here, the yearnings of your soul. Okay. You could probably find it on Amazon. So this one's more about, has really big quotes instead of images so much. And it has wonderful exercises for developing your intuition. So what I want to talk about briefly before I do some readings is a lot of us have to stop letting fear hold us back. So as I said, I've had a lot of fear. I will share with you with what I want to manifest is going to Italy on a scouting trip. Now, some of you um, follow the travel channels, okay, especially in the Black community, expat travel. Some of you do, probably not all of you, and some wonderful channels. Stephanie Perry's channel is wonderful. Black Sit Global, who I interviewed on my channel, Krishan, she is really sweet. She's moving to Portugal, people. So what I am manifesting, and I want to know in the chat what you're manifesting, I have started working on finally on some of that passport paperwork stuff to get my passport to be able to travel to Italy. Okay. And I have to tell you, the one fear I have, almost more than public speaking. Yeah, I don't think I have a public speaking fear, even like live. Maybe I do, but the bigger fear that I have, you guys, is paperwork. For some reason, I have like a phobia about paperwork, a phobia. If I see a form and it's like 6 pages, I will try to hide the form. I will lose the form. I'll put the form under other forms. Okay, I'm serious. I can do so many other things. Friends tell me, "Oh, wow, no, you try things. You go out there, especially when I was a little bit younger. If you say you're going to do something, you do it. But if it requires a form, now, why do I want to go to Italy? Italy is notorious for what? Bureaucracy. Oh, you got it. Yes. Actually, I think I read that a lot of Americans still don't have a passport. Right, you need the passport to leave or to travel. A lot of people don't even have one. So yeah. Beautiful love, tell me what's your problem? You were saying to which part? Is the fear? So this is what I want to get across, to get right to the point of it. When things start to fall apart in your life, goddess, okay? This applies to divine masculine as well as to the divine feminine. When things start to fall apart in your life, what it is, and I've said this, I said this to my friend who passed away, okay? So it's going to get deep here. I don't think he ever took it to heart. When things start to fall apart in your life, it's because there is a change you need to make that you're not making. There is a change you need to make that you are not making. So the way I explained it to another friend is I gave him the example. I said, you know how, and this fit this person. They had difficulties with different jobs. They would get employed, then they'd run into some difficulties. And yeah, I will tell you the full story. So let me tell you a story. This particular friend works in retail, wonderful in retail. Worked in retail for decades. But their dream at a certain point was to own their own restaurant, was to be in the food industry. They loved food. They loved cooking. Excellent. When I tell you Southern food that you would line up for, okay? Southern, heavy, rich, good, tasty food. Not healthy, particularly. You guys know I care about health, right? So let me tell you the story. So this friend, I literally coached him over years even, and would just talk to him as a friend. And that was really what he wanted to do, was be in the food industry. Even then it came down to just, how about a little takeout place? And I believe that fear held them back. They won't watch my channel, so I can say that. Of course, I'm not going to say the name, but fear held them back. And I said to this man, I said, look, the universe will give you a problem, and if you ignore it, we'll stay with the discomfort of not changing. But then the universe will up the ante, typically. So if it's with work, it'll start with a little problem. Oh no, I can't give up that job. I can't give it up because it pays too well. You're being shown intuitively, divine intuition, that you should do something else. But no, I can't. How many of you out there are like, no, I have this steady job. It's kind of toxic, or I'm at the top of my career. I can't. And so the universe will then create a bigger problem with the boss. Oh, then a project messes up. Basically, what I have seen in my life is, when things start going wrong around you, you need to shift. You are energetically not following the subtle, intuitive whispers that are telling you to go on, to move on. And in this book, she shared a beautiful story. So not a client of mine, not anybody I knew, but a guy who was really making good money in sales. He was at the top of his field, right? And she would read for him, as I do. Like, she would do readings for him, and he was unhappy. Sure enough, but he's like, I can't leave. I'm at the top of my field. I'm making great money. Little things started to happen. Little things, somebody else blew it up out of proportion. Over the course of a year or more, they literally were going to fire this man. And like, literally his reputation was getting ruined. And she pointed out to him, you wanted to leave that job. Like, your soul knew there was something for you to do, but you refused. And his situation got so bad, he finally either was fired or finally quit. She then said, I think it took him a year or more to get back in touch with her. And he goes, oh my God, he was making a huge amount of money doing what he loved. And he's like, my clients love me. I love what I'm doing. The universe will kind of grind you down. That's what I said to my friend, not the one that passed away, but the one in retail. It'll slap you. If you ignore the slap, you'll get a punch. If you ignore the punch, you'll get tripped and like knock your head. And if you ignore that, it'll be something even bigger. Let me know, guys, if you've experienced this. Okay, this is what I have seen of reality. Okay, as a spiritual teacher, if you do not shift when you are being led to by spirit, by God, things will start to go wrong. Okay, things will start to go wrong in a big way. So let me know your comments on that. What do you think? When have you seen that happen in your life? The thing is, when we do the shift that we're being led to do, typically what's going to happen is you're going to be happier. You're just going to be happier. Your energy is going to flow, and you probably will make at least the same, if not more money. Okay. Yeah. Oh, what's happening to you now? Okay. Share more, beautiful love. Yeah, and I love the new name change, Ms. T. Yeah, so what are you guys working on? Hi, Etienne. We missed you. But everything is recorded, but we missed that interaction. Oh, I like your picture. Is that a new picture? I like the colors, and the lighting is great. So what are you working on, goddesses? What are you co-creating right now? And what is your fear? I'm going to pull, but you first have to share a little bit. What are you working on, and what fear is holding you back? I also would be happy to help you come up with an affirmation. Okay, so speak up now, because this live is not going to go on super long. As I said, I was on Zoom for an hour coaching in the Manifesting Mastery group. It has women from, Etienne is in it, all the way from Australia, Africa via Australia. New Jersey, New York City, and somewhere in the Midwest are the women in the group. Spirit is telling me to move and everything is going wrong with my house. Yes, my love. Yes, that is a sign. So thank you for piping up. Yes, that would be a sign. Okay, so again, those of you watching in the replay, I want you to think about your life. This isn't just about the folks who are here live. If you're here live, you have my attention. I can do a reading for you, participate, and give the video a thumbs up also. So Spirit is telling me to move and everything is going wrong in my house. Yes. When things start to go wrong, the energy is not balanced, not aligned with that reality. I'm trying to think of how else to say it too, because that sounds really woo-woo, but it's the truth. When you're in good alignment and where you should be, things will tend to flow more smoothly. And it sounds beautiful love is hearing whispers that she needs to move. Yeah, so I'm going to read for you, beautiful love, Ms. T, Ms. T, Ms. T. I'm going to read for you. I'm going to shuffle one more time the cards, okay? Hi, so yes. Vintage Sims. Oh, okay. Yes, I see you're writing about the podcast. Absolutely. Yeah, give me a background, what you're manifesting. So beautiful love. I have counseled beautiful love. She's a member of the community. Hold on, my cards are not wanting to shuffle right. Hold on. But we need to move forward. You can get stuck. You can get stuck in trauma. You can get stuck in fear. We need to move on. Okay. So I'm going to ask a question about her move. Okay. These are the cards. You're seeing the side. I'm not. All right. And I'm using her name because I know her name. It's a longtime member of the community, supporter. Aha. Okay. Yeah, I think it is the time to move because you got the Wheel of Fortune card. So she got 2 out of 3 what are called Major Arcana cards. Major Arcana cards are cards that say that a situation is important. It's a big situation. She got King of Cups reversed. I don't know who this is. T, Ms. T, this could be a landlord. This could be you, the male aspect of you, that you've reached almost a completion stage and you're feeling very, very emotional. So that can represent you. Right? The king tends to be a final of a stage. So these cards are very hard to read. I'd have to pull more and talk with you, but it could be an actual male in your life. If so, he's being overly emotional. And I don't get aggressive, but overly emotional, almost imbalanced. Okay. But I'm going to keep reading. You got the High Priestess card. So Ms. T, your intuition is calling you. The mysteries are calling you that as a woman, you know, and you need to tune in to your intuition. Okay. You got that card upright though. So my sense is that you are tuning in. You need to pay attention to your dreams. You need to watch for signs that happen in your life. You might overhear a conversation, goddess. You might see a book, literally, sometimes for people, a book falls off of a shelf. Like it. So in terms of your move, your intuition is, I'm going to say spot on because you got that card upright. She also got a third card. The Wheel of Fortune says that the time is right. The time is right. Miss T, I would go ahead and start that process now. The energy is with you to help you to do this move. You will find what you're looking for. And you got 2 out of 3 cards are Major Arcana. Who is the King of Cups, though? Is that an aspect of you that it's been a while, you've been just overly emotional, consumed by emotion, or is that a male in your life? Is that a landlord? Because she's saying move, it could potentially be somebody like a landlord, but it's a male energy. So let me go back up and see what Beautiful Love says. Let's see if I can find her. Okay, right. You're trying to manifest your beauty products. Beautiful Love says, thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Let me. Oh, you said yes. Yes. Is it you or is there a male out in the world that's being emotional? Could be even like demanding. Again, it's not so much aggressive because it's the King of Cups. it's just pure, it's water energy, but on steroids. So who is this? You've been very emotional. Okay. So this means it's coming to a culmination. It's coming to a culmination and hopefully an end. I'd have to pull more cards to see if it's coming to an end, but yeah. The kings tend to represent, because it starts with page and then knight and then the queen, and the idea is that it symbolically can represent an ending stage, like the full blown being emotional. Okay, so even though she's a female, it's using the king. Listen to your intuition, goddess, and the timing is right for you to move. Okay, I'm going to cut the cards. Where's my crystal? Okay, and I'm going to now pull for Vintage Sims. And I'm at Vintage Sims. I need to kind of see what you're saying. You're manifesting. It's hard to do so many things at one time. I'm trying to be the tech thing. I'm trying to manifest starting up your podcast again. That's a very valid concern, Vintage. Yeah. Podcasts are hard to keep going. Why do you need a co-host all the time, Vintage? See, I asked the tough questions. Why do you need this co-host? Or could you do every other episode with them? That would give your folks a nice variety. Yeah. So I hope the emotions heal for you, Miss T. So, Vintage, let me know in the comments, Vintage. Why do you need to do it with this person? Do they have the technical ability you don't have? I mean, two people is nice in a podcast, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, so I'm going to pull for Vintage. So we have to get over the fear. So that's my theme. I'm going to try to find out really kind of what is the blockage as always. And this card wants to slightly rotate. Okay, there's something nostalgic about this, something about the past and recreating the past. Did you work together before, or it reminds you of some sort of past relationship with your podcast co-host? What is that about? Beautiful Love says she's been very emotional about moving. Yes. Yeah, that's why it's a king. That's why it's a king card. Well, you need to work on that, because if things are starting to go wrong and your intuition is telling you to move, yeah, I see that. That is why it's a king. I think it would be too much work on my own. Gotcha. Could you do the podcast every other week, Vintage? Could you shorten the podcast? There are so many things you could do, because I have a podcast and I am actually irregular with it. Even though I love podcasting, because you don't have to put makeup on, you don't have to care about your background, you just record your voice. It's actually easier than YouTube by far, but it's just something I tend to put aside. But some tips are shorten the podcast. There are people who are doing 10-minute podcasts, 5-minute podcasts, and are killing it. Okay. You could just make them really short, or say it's every other week, or say it's once a month. So I'm going to keep pulling for you, Vintage. We both have different strands. She edits sound. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, so you got the Emperor. So there's some need for structure, and you got it reversed. There's not enough structure to this whole podcasting thing. You need to get some things in place that are not in place yet. And you also got the Chariot. There's not enough drive or willpower to do this podcast. I hate to be cruel, but Vintage, my love. Yeah, I think you are, how do I say this? You're kind of fooling yourself a little. There's something nostalgic about the podcast that's making you want to do it. But you got the Emperor reversed, which tells me there's not enough structure. There is not enough of a plan about this podcast. The things are not set up as they need to be to do the podcast. And then further, she got the Chariot upside down. So I would say there's not enough drive or ambition for this project. That's your answer. We did the podcast together last year. Communication was messy. We weren't very consistent. Yes, so I think so. It's not so much conflict that I see. vintage. It's not so much that I see conflict. There are the other cards for conflict, but yeah, you guys don't have the structures in place to go forward. Meaning, what is the schedule? When do you record vintage? What day of the week do you record? When does the editing happen? You just basically need to be like an emperor if you want it, if you really want to do it, and put that in place. Make decrees, symbolically, of course. This is how we will do it. And I don't think you have the energy or drive to do this podcast. So you think it'd be too much work on your own? Exactly. Exactly. My sense is it would be. It would be, because this card, if it were upright, would be a go ahead card, but you got it reversed. I don't think either of you necessarily have the energy, though I was reading more directly for you. I hope that helps. Let me know what you think. You got 2 major arcana cards, so also important to you. But it didn't work out well last year. BB says, I wish we could move. Okay. Hi, Viv. Hi, Grow and Invest. Okay, Vintage says, I just did a reading for Vintage. If you're just joining, I did a mini reading. And they say, yes, these are very true. My co-host doesn't seem as driven to get it done as I do. We're trying to have a meeting to talk about starting again. I'm worried co-hosts won't want to commit. Very accurate. Right. My sense is, yeah, well, I think it's the energy is missing. For whatever reason, they don't have the energy for it. What is this nostalgia about it? Does it pleasure in your podcast for you? There's a real sense it implies when, yeah, there was good companionship. The 6 of Cups has to do with companionship, almost like a peak of not achievement, but okay. The meaning of this card given is something like, an example would be someone who's constantly talking about when he played football in college and he was like a star in football, because it has this element of nostalgia, the old home and like rose-colored glasses about the past. So I think you're looking back at it with fond memories when it did work. But right now there's definitely issues with it. So yes. I'm sorry, Vintage. It's not that it could run. You would have to work on the organization and on the drive and the will to do it. Okay. And that's what's missing. That's what's missing. So what else are you trying to manifest? Yes. Okay. Let's see. Vintage says nostalgia because I listened to it recently and remembered all of the good times. Yes. That's exactly, yep. That's the card I pulled for you. It's nostalgia. It's like a sweetness about the past. And the implication is usually that that's not now, that trying to bring that back now is problematic. So yes, so she says all of the good times, making it and how fun it was when it went well. It's something I'm proud of and feel fulfilled by. So if I were you, and if you really want to restart the podcast, you need to figure out the structure. Okay. Yes. That makes so much sense. Atienne says, you were just grounding yourself? You've just been grounding yourself in nature? So listen to the cues from the universe. If things start to go wrong in an area and you're hearing whispers, indications that you need to take an action, and we all know in our heart what that is for us, right? So like I said, for me, I am working on manifesting going to Italy. And it will be like a scouting trip because as I said, some of you are from the other travel channels. I want to do it as a vacation, but it's not just like, oh, I just want to take an Italy vacation, because I don't think that would have been that complicated, though. With my passport, it would have, because basically I needed to renew, and then there were some other things like you guys. Well, I don't know if I should talk about this on the internet, because you never know who. There was just like misspellings on some documents. That's all I'll say. Yeah. So literally from when I was born, some people messed up writing. Okay. Very annoying, right? These people have passed on and they still are like bothering me. But That's not true. We're fixing that. We're changing it. Those of you who really follow my channel, you may know that I made a video where I was crying. I went to an official office and I was treated very badly by the person there. And then my friend got really sick and was in hospital for, I guess, 9 months before he finally passed. And so obviously with that going on, I didn't follow up on the paperwork. So what I'm working on, and I will take you with me, I'm also getting a new phone, which has a good camera, because honestly, I'm probably not going to use a camera. I'm probably going to film through my phone. Old school YouTube from back in the day. Oh, that's great. Holiday is always really, really good. Yes. Vintage, you're welcome. You're welcome. Let me see what, okay. But I know there were a lot of issues during that time too. Exactly. Exactly. So Vintage, it's not to say you can't do the podcast, but those are the two issues, and they're major issues because they're major arcana. Lack of structure and organization, and also the will and the drive to do it. And those are major. Those are major. Yeah. So I don't know. So again, goddess, there's something you want to manifest. I'm kind of mixing two things there. No, hey, Percy, didn't mean to scare you. Percy is completely healthy. He's gaining weight. If anything, he has gained too much weight, people. If you remember when he was sick and he had that shaved side, his fur is finally coming back in. I would say it's like almost normal. And he's doing, I love when they fold their front paws under and they tuck under and they're kind of big and round. He's doing that. He's sticking close to me because he thinks it's dinner time, but it's not. So if anybody else here, let me see. Are there any other regulars who want to share what they're manifesting? So watch out for when things start to go wrong. You're not being punished. You're not being punished. Again, and I don't want to offend anybody, we need to get out of the victim consciousness. There is a victim, almost like smog on this planet. What do I mean by that? There are those who want us to feel powerless, who want us to feel victimized. And so some of you, I know, feel that a little bit, is my sense. And you are not really fully in your power. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean things can't go wrong. There is karma. Nations have karma. Families have karma. But what I'm saying is, I think for many of you watching this, the message I'm getting is you need to step into your power. We can do that together. I have a lot of videos that would support that. Come for a reading. In my readings, I typically pull like 12. I'm trying to think how many cards I really pull. About 12 cards for you, using tarot, using goddess cards, all different kinds of cards. I pull from very many different decks. I have archangel decks. I have decks that just all different traditions, pretty much. So when things are not going right, it's because you need to stop. You need to meditate, recenter yourself, and then listen. Okay. So the goddess coaching, I keep holding up this book. Check out this book, Divine Intuition. It is an older book now, but the wisdom in it, maybe it was from 10 years ago. It's by a woman named Lynn Robinson, who is an intuitive. And she calls it consulting. Guys, I should charge, you can charge much more if you say you're a consultant. It's a really good book, though. She is an intuitive. I'm going to read you one of the quotes. Let me actually see if there's a quote for all of us. That is something that I also can do. I think it's called bibliomancy. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's like opening. It has to be a spiritual book. And I am able to open to the answer to a question. So I'm just going to ask. I'm just flipping the book so I don't have a sense of what page it will be. What do we need to know now? What does the audience need to know now? Okay. Okay. I've learned that one way to bring my greatest longings to the surface is to notice how alive they make me feel. Yes. Actually, I want to speak on this a little bit. I'm going to hold it up. I had actually opened to this before, and so I think it's relevant. I have learned that one way to bring my greatest longings to the surface is to notice how alive they make me feel. Some of you even pointed out to me when I talk about Italy, I get lit up, especially before I was trying to do the paperwork. I get less lit up now because of the paperwork, but let's put that aside. So, goddesses, if you're watching this and you're like, it's hard for me to tap into what's my longing, is notice what thing, when you do talk about it, practice it, engage in it, daydream about it, makes you feel happy and alive. Okay. I've learned that one way to bring my greatest longings to the surface is to notice how alive they make me feel. What do you think of that? Oh, thank you, sweetheart. I'm going to make some abundance. I think maybe you want and need. Who doesn't need some abundance? I am going to work on that. I promise to have 108. And that's just a lot. I don't know. I picked 108 because it's a spiritual number, but that's a lot of affirmations. So I need to write them down. Actually, I am going to use AI. AI is amazing. I tell it what I want. I give it all the parameters, goddesses, and then I rewrite some of them if they're too long or they're not good. So, but to come up with 108 is really hard. That is my next video. I promise that's what I will be working on. Beautiful Love says, I am manifesting money. Yes. Good. Now you guys are finally sharing what you're working on. Goddess, what am I going to say to you? I feel that for you, I know you're saying your beauty products, it's something easier that you're missing. My sense is that for you, I'm going to pull again for you. I'm going to pull again for you about how can you manifest money. Okay. You may need to not just listen to my affirmations. You may need to repeat them after me. You may need to write one 50 times. Beautiful. Okay, this is something Bob Proctor recommended, 50 times the same affirmation, because you need that in depth. I'm going to pull for you and I'm going to use your name. How can you manifest money? What does she need to know to help her manifest money? Because I think you're missing it. I think you're putting hurdles that don't need to be there, is the sense I'm getting. Card 1, card 2, this wants to flip. And card 3. Everybody watching, she got a card of a lot of money at the end. So, and I am surprised. Miss T, you got some really good cards. This card is a card of victory. This is a card of success, accolades. So the way I'm going to put this to you is, what do people already praise you for, goddess? What do you do right now that's easy for you, that you get praise for? And I want you to put that in the chat right now, because this card tells me there is something, or she's going to be getting recognition. This is a card of recognition for something. But because my question was, how can she earn money? I'm going to say it's something she's already getting praise for. So, Ms. T, I want to know, what is it that you already get praise for? You got the message. You need to narrow things down. This is the card of the man. Look at this. He's over friggin' whelmed. He's got too many things. And you got it reversed. So I'm going to say you're starting to narrow down to what you really want. There is a Chinese saying, and I feel like I know there's an African saying because it's so good. It's something like, he who chases 2 rabbits catches none. He who chases 2 rabbits catches none. Okay, so beautiful love, what do you already get praise for? Hi, King's Equine Therapy. Hello, hello, hello. Ooh, equine therapy. That sounds good. Beautiful love, what do you already get praise for? I am reading for you a second reading because I feel like you're complicating things more than you need to. So she got some great cards, you guys. This card is praise, success, public recognition. Okay. Given my question, I'm getting that it's something she already gets praise for, is how she can make money. Because my question was, how can she make money? She needs to focus, narrow it down. And this is the card she got that tells me she can be a success financially. She got the King of Pentacles. This is a very, very good card for saying that the path you're on can bring you money if you listen to the previous steps. So Ms. T, she probably went to do something in her home, because I know a bit about her because we have worked together. Ms. T, you need to come back and type in the chat, what do you already get public accolades for? Or the only other meaning is that you're just about to hit it big, but I don't know if you got that far yet. Beautiful love, hard for you. It's hard for you to know what you get praised for. I know you do a lot of childcare. Is that something that you already get praised for? Because I asked, how can she make money? My sense is that you're getting sort of muddled and confused and overwhelmed. The spirit is saying you're already getting public praise for something, recognition for some skill, given my question. You need to narrow it down. You have too many things going on. You need to narrow your focus, but there is a tremendous ability actually to earn money available to you. Okay? So Ms. T, tell me how that resonates with you. You're planning to do videos every week to grow on YouTube. You're teaching your son, exactly. Is there something related to teaching? Are you already getting positive feedback for that? Yes or no? And if you are, or some other skill, I mean, do you bake? Is there something you do? Do you counsel people that people are like, oh my God, thank you so much. Girl, you're so wonderful at that. That's how you're going to make money, is something that's already right under your nose. Maybe you should start some sort of tutoring, or take other kids in to teach them, right? Because I'm pretty sure, you're working at home. Okay, anybody else who what are you trying to manifest? And I'll do one more reading. Etienne, that is great. You're going to need to catch up. Like I said, we had an hour session, and so yeah, I think that's great. That's what you had said, you had planned you're going to do. And that's a beautiful process. We worked on affirmations. We worked in the group helping each other. So you will be able to watch the videotape. This is for someone in my manifestation mastery. So it's videotaped. You'll be able to see that in the community. I will put that up tomorrow, because today is Sunday and it's nighttime already. Would anybody else like a reading on something you are wanting to manifest? So beautiful love. Yeah, you're teaching your son. You definitely can make money. There's real potential for you. This is awesome. I'm manifesting money to fund deals. Okay. Right. Real estate. Okay. So now I have two people. I can do one. Allison, did you already share what let me go back up. Allison, I don't think you shared what you were trying to manifest. So the last one that I'm going to do then is, grow and invest in real estate. All right. I'm going to keep going, and I'll just go as far as I can, but I want to know what it is that you are working on. So, Allison, I will, but tell me what it is you're working to manifest. And then I can actually say it out loud also for the replay. Again, come for a full reading. I pull many, many cards, and it's an hour long. I also have half-hour readings, but I recommend the full hour, because people get the half hour and they're like, oh my God, can I extend it? I'll pay you. Can I just get the full hour? That happens a lot. And so whenever somebody books a half hour, I'm like, they're going to end up wanting an hour. They're going to end up wanting an hour. It's true. Let's see. Let me go back to the comments. Give me a moment. And okay, so grow and invest in real estate. I'm going to pull 3 quick cards for you. You're manifesting money to fund deals, real estate deals. If there's anything, grow and invest, you should come for a full reading, especially because this is about your business. I actually have a business reading specifically. Grow and invest. All right. Interesting. Very interesting kind of mixed reading. Well, no, this first card says that she is ending a period of looking at her past projects and what they have yielded. So yes, that's not mixed. This is upright. She got it reversed. So I'm going to say that process of looking, and again, confirm for me in the chat. You have spent quite a bit of time looking at past projects, not just projects, different types of work you've done even, and you're really looking at what brings you the most money. That's what I would read this card as. There is something about not quite similar to the previous one I got. There's something about the energy is not quite there yet, but there's potential, okay? Because you got the Ace of Wands. There's potential, but it's not quite active yet, or you're looking at how to activate that energy to move forward with your creative endeavors. But there is something about energy or the beginning of something, because it's an Ace card, about starting something. But she ended with a very good card. Very soon, in terms of reading about you and your energy, you're going to really start making some money. If you can see, guys, here, she got two aces. This Ace of Wands, and then she was reversed, but she got Ace of Pentacles upright. So it's almost like the divine is going to be helping you to begin making money. It is the beginning of it. It's not guaranteeing the full sort of amount, but it's saying you're starting on a project that will be lucrative. It has the potential to be lucrative. Yes. So that is for Grow and Invest in Real Estate. So Grow and Invest in Real Estate. Let me know how that hits you. Yeah, again, it does seem like you spent some time really evaluating your past career, your past work, and what it yielded. This card is very much about looking at what yield you've gotten and potentially honing in. So yes, I feel very good about that. Yeah, okay, I will. Yeah, does that resonate with you? But very positive for what you're working on now because of that Ace. Okay. I think Allison was next. Money for real estate. Thank you. Very encouraging and on point as usual. Great. Good. Come for a full reading. It's going to be much more, it's not even so much detailed, but it will, obviously I'm live on YouTube. And so being live, I got lights on, I'm cognizant of the time I'm spending on each person. So yeah, I do have a business reading for those of you who are entrepreneurs that I don't talk about much. What I like about the business reading is you come to me with choices, with like 3 options you're thinking of. And I think it's actually really deep and extremely worthwhile. You don't even have to tell me what they are. And I will pull on, option 1, option 2, option 3. So say you have 3 different kind of deals or 3 different approaches with your business, and I will just tune into the energy of each one, and we'll see, just like I did with the person with the podcast. And I nail that, right? I told her there wasn't enough structure, and some specifically how that could be, and there wasn't enough ambition and drive to make this podcast at this point work unless she fixed those problems. So come for a business reading. That is what's appropriate if it is about your work. Let's see. So Allison, money for real estate. Do you mean for a home, Allison? Allison, it's going to be a lot of outlay of money. Wow, the High Priestess is, wow. Allison, you got the King of Pentacles, but reversed. Guys, and actually I'm getting tired, so this is going to be my last one. I need to have supper. So the divine feminine in me needs to stop me. I'm not going to push through. I could, but I'm not going to do that. So for Allison, the King of Pentacles can be a man or the male aspect of yourself. But your question is about real estate. I'm going to read this as this could be an outlay of money or a banker, because it's upright. I mean, it represents a man who has a lot of money, who's good at money. So I don't know if this is an issue with banks or looking at loans. You also got the high priestess right in the center. So goddesses, divine feminine, you need to tune into your intuition about where you can get this money, right? Where can you get this money for real estate? So I'm reading for Allison. She's being told her intuition can help her. Again, tuning in, meditate. I have short videos where you literally just meditate with me. They're like 5-minute, 10-minute. Your intuition will lead you to, oh, I should call Uncle so-and-so. And I don't even know why I said uncle. Or I should call, might be a man that's like an uncle. I should call so-and-so, or so-and-so knows someone who's an investor, or there's some way your intuition is going to lead you. And you're going to love this card because this card says there's something already possible for you, but you're ignoring it. Look at you. You have your arms crossed. Oops, yeah, my lights go out. That means it's time for me to end. She's got her arms crossed. She's like, I don't know if I want this. So, Allison, what are you not taking that's offered to you? Is somebody offering you a loan, Allison? I really want to know. Oop, okay, lights back on. So I'm waiting for Allison, who asked about the real estate, to type in. There's an offer out there for you that you're not taking. You're mulling it over. My sense is that, given your question, it could be somebody with a loan or something related to this real estate and to the money, but you're not taking it. You're considering it, but the card typically means that it's not saying yes, you should take it, but that there's an opportunity that you're overlooking. So Allison, are you there? See, guys, I only do readings for folks who are sticking around, because I really don't like to do a reading and the person has left, because it literally takes energy. It takes psychic energy for me to do this. So Allison, are you here? Grow and Invest says, yeah, I'll go back to yes. Thank you for that, Grow and Invest. And I'm waiting. Allison, I just pulled 3 cards for you and you've disappeared. All right. Allison Thompson. Etienne, I'll pull a quick I will pull quickly for you because you are a client, and we'll see if Allison comes back. And I'm pulling related to your YouTube. Oh, you're welcome, beautiful love. Yes, Goddess, I think of you quite often. I really wished you would sign up for the Manifesting Mastery. I kept feeling that it would have helped you, and now you're telling me you needed to move. That's what you could have worked on with us. Reach out. Well, we just had our 3rd meeting, so. All right, so now I'm reading for, let's see, did Allison? Etienne, about YouTube and her career. Okay, this may want to split. Okay. It may want to turn. Second card. Ooh, you gotten 2 major arcana, Etienne. 3. Okay. Let me look at the cards. All right, I'll just start talking it out, and sometimes it makes sense as I go. She got 2 major arcana. She wants to build a YouTube channel and to share specifically about the chakras. You got the Hierophant card, which is, I'm getting in this case that it's about working with an organization. This is typically a school, a church, a temple. So there's some, and tradition. So with your channel and that work, yeah, I think this might be that you want to continue learning and growing, okay? Because to be the Hierophant, you have to really share. You share truths and traditions that are ancient, so that does fit very much. And so you're looking into it. So that makes a lot of sense. But my sense is there's still some growth to be able to be in that position of the Hierophant. of the teacher, of the Pope. Secondly, you got the Fool card reversed. This can mean one of two things, opposite things. Either you're not starting because or you're being foolhardy. Okay, so this is the card upright. Upright, it means typically, and I read it this way, and it's a meaning when I'm reading it, is to take that risk, to start over, start fresh, be like a child. But you got it reversed. So my sense is you're maybe mulling it over, you're thinking about it, but you maybe haven't taken, you could take more steps to do it, or as I said, it could mean you're going too quickly. But I don't tend to read this card as too quickly. It's maybe not taking the steps, not starting. And then you got the Page of Cups reversed. Yes, just a little bit that I actually know, because this is typically a love interest or the beginning of a love relationship. So maybe that's something you're spending time on and focused on. Right? The Page of Cups, beginning of love, perhaps. And so that may be what's distracting you from the starting. So that's what I got. Yeah, Etienne, did you, oh my gosh, she says good night. Yeah, did you hear the reading? Oh my gosh, this is so funny. This is so funny. So Etienne, you got the Hierophant reversed. So yeah, you're looking at education, you're looking at being a teacher, which is absolutely true. There's a sense to keep growing, keep learning, because you're going to be sharing traditions and truths. And so this is a real position of authority. So you're growing into that. There's some sense, Etienne, that you need to look at, are you starting? Are you taking the steps necessary? And there is something also, this can also be about starting and relative to love, something you love, emotions, but it can also be the start of maybe love affair again, right? And looking at that, examining that, because it's reversed, you're trying to figure out if it's right for you, and just something you had shared with me. Does that make sense, Etienne? Yes, you're learning more. Yeah, more knowledge, right? Because the Hierophant is a very serious card of being the teacher and sharing those keys, unlocking for folks. So it usually implies some experience, just taking time to learn, taking time to continue to learn. Again, come for a reading, those of you who haven't yet. And the link is on my website. I have, as I said, I have a half-hour reading, and I have a full 1 hour reading, and it's in the flow of magic. And it's by Zoom, so I can see you. I said often people will start crying, because a lot of times when you come for a reading, it's because you're not clear, right? It's about getting more clarity. And so what my readings, when I read one-on-one, is very much about the psychological aspect, what's holding you back and what you need to do. So it's always empowering. My readings are not about predicting, because when you feel that it's something you can predict, that means you've lost your own personal power. So the reading may say it doesn't look good, but the reading tells you how you can rectify it. Just like when I was helping with this podcast issue that a viewer wanted to start. Does that make sense? So when I do an intuitive reading, the reading itself tells you what the problem is. It's not about, some divine thunderbolt. It doesn't work that way. We are spiritual co-creators. Okay, so you really need to understand that and take responsibility. There is spirit, and then there is free will. There is God, and then there is free will and choice and action. So any reader that's just going to give you a yes or a no, it's more about probabilities. Will you take the action that will give you what you want? Are you able to take the action? Are the forces with you? Is there support from ancestors, guides, angels? That's the type of thing that you want to know, because my goal with any reading is to really help you manifest, to help you create what you desire. And if it is right for you, right, to help it unfold. So The next video will be the money affirmations, the 108 affirmations. I want to also, before I go, really thank my channel subscribers. I need to do Goddess Circle for this month. Goddess Circle is a small gathering, much different than this. This is live on YouTube. So literally anybody in the world could watch this, pop in, you know. This Goddess Circle is a small group where we're live in a private room in Zoom. And I typically lead a meditation. And then there's a theme that I share a little bit about, but then I also specifically am able to interact with you. It feels much more like a spiritual space. So if you become a channel member or supporter, Patreon, you will have access to that. And that is every month. Okay, so the best way to do that is actually if you see a join button on this page, Goddesses, that's a way you can become a channel member through YouTube. I actually prefer if you join through Patreon, but just know I'm thinking very much of doing a community, my own community, where I can host things without you being on Patreon or being on YouTube. So that's where my members will be in our own private community. So give the video a thumbs up if you got any value from this. And again, don't let fear stop you. Don't let things going wrong means that you need to change, to shift something. When things start to like fall apart, there's some alignment. Oops, Percival, you're going to kill it? I think he found a moth or something. He will kill flying creatures and then he eats them. Much love. Be well. Be safe. And my video will likely come out Thursday. Thursday is my regular day. I wanted to put it out earlier, but I'm going to say Thursday. Thursday and Sundays I have videos. Much love. Peace. Bye-bye.